How much competition does Palantir really have? If the market is as large as Palantir predicts, then surely competition will come knocking as time goes on. Who's likely to be the biggest threat here? Well, the discussion around competition for Palantir has been an ongoing one, and one that not necessarily has a resolution to it. So I'm going to refer back to what Alex Karp has mentioned in the previous earnings call, where he describes Palantir's approach as fairly orthogonal to its competition. And that means statistically independent, fairly independent. And this comes down to the idea that I've talked a lot about on my channel regarding Palantir's approach to thick products versus competitors' approaches to thin products. So Palantir's building the Foundry platform that has hundreds of applications in one. And they want it to be the operating system for the modern enterprise. Whereas you have Snowflake, you have so many other companies that are focusing just on one thin segment of that. And that's how they're able to scale so much faster, is there can just be a link on their website and someone can get started right away with their product and the sales can actually move much faster. So that's my understanding of what Alex Karp says when he talks about a thick versus a thin. A thick product takes much longer to actually set up. In Palantir's case, they work to get that actual time down to zero. They're working to deploy the software as quickly as possible. But with something that is a much thinner product, there's a lot less work involved in how you would actually deploy that product. So basically, that's what differentiates Palantir from its competition. Palantir is focused much more around the all-inclusive product that really addresses an entire corporation's needs versus a corporation hacking together a bunch of different products where they might need many different products to sum up to one entire Foundry stack. In response to the question concerning competition, Karp directs it towards the product, and he believes, and he's always said this, that Palantir is way ahead of the market. He points to the U.S. commercial growth and how that's going to double without SPACs, and then he talks about Foundry being the thick product with hundreds of product integrations and deployable fairly quickly. And then there's Apollo, which is very unique. Nobody else has anything like that. This is putting aside Gotham for the moment. And so what he says about the competition is it's surprising how different Palantir is and their approach from others, broadly speaking. And that has some advantages. So he talks about the traction of the products and at a price where the company can actually eventually get into it, even though Palantir's pricing is fairly high because of how expensive it is to initially produce this software. And they talk about the satisfaction of the customers once they get up and running. And he says that not really many people pay attention to that. And they're not paying attention to where it will be in 2 years and how it will have adapted and who's building these sorts of thick products when that's what you're really going to need as a company. Businesses are going to need full stack solutions, Alex Karp says, as the world gets more and more difficult to navigate through. So Palantir's operating in this hybrid model right now. They break out some of their modules, but they really have put all the work into their thick products, which no one really has at this point aside from Palantir. So it remains to be seen how useful these thick products will be versus someone, a business, any size really, buying and utilizing thinner products and just stacking those together. Palantir wants to create an ecosystem that just relies on one product and many modules within that product.